goals. Oh, shoot, that's this week's goals. Whoops. Sorry, guys. So last week's goals, we had, I wanted to get a triple full on floor. I wanted to get a 2.5 double front. On high bar, I really wanted to work on the kovacs taps. Rings, I just wanted to get a little stronger. Vaults, still, it's been a very long battle with this vault, trying to get that sit-up feeling, but trying to get that going. Horse, just trying to get the wrist to feel better. And P-bars, I wanted to get a peach half, a boxar, a double front half, and a full Makooch drill. Because someone challenged me from the chat last time saying that when is I gonna man up and actually do it on the mat and with the full sequence? So made that a part of what my goals were for this coming week. Connor, how do your numbers of routines goes as a senior compared to your numbers as a junior? I didn't track when I was a junior. I mean, the reason I started tracking when I'm older is because I finally have enough knowledge to say, this is what I wish I had been doing as a junior and through college and for my entire career, because I think it would have made me more aware of when I was overdoing it and when I wasn't, because I pushed through way too many injuries when I was younger, and I didn't have enough training time throughout that process to ever think about what the right way to go is, because I was just too young and immature to really take it into my own hands. And I can't imagine anyone else at a young age taking the stance that I'm taking right now, doing this. But if they want to, they will be much better, knowing what their body's capable of and being safe because of trying to do this. So, with that being said, we're into week 5, and the reason I'm doing things a little differently than last week, instead of just playing all of the video, I posted the log on the YouTube, so that has everything that I did for the week, and I don't want to cover things that aren't necessary. And we had like an hour-long stream last week, so I was like, let's cut it down, because when people go to watch it later, they see an hour and they're like, oh wow, that's a lot. So I was like, well, there's a lot of things I'm kind of just fluff talking. There's some points that I really want to make this week, especially on vault and high bar, that I really just want to focus on that and break it down. If you want to see all my other turns, they're there. But for this week 5, I'm just going to read you off all the things that I did accomplish and how many turns I took and kind of what that week was, and then really dive in on a couple technical things that I think will be very beneficial. So Monday, I figured I'm going to start showing Mondays as well, because vaults are important, and that's the day that I do the leg events. So yeah, five vaults, nothing too crazy. Did all my warm ups and got myself ready for the week, because I was feeling pretty refreshed from taking it a little easier last week, and I was ready to ramp it up. So on Tuesday, took 13 turns total, 9 routines, eight strength exercise. Yeah, that's a little tongue twister. High bar was 11 of the turns, which that's a decent amount of turns. Rings is 2, because still don't really need much on rings. I just need to get my strength back, which is where I did add from the goals from last week 2 more strength exercises, and these are the back up rise Maltese drills and the cross pull 5-second hold drills. And so I'm going to show that to you guys really quickly. We're going to hop on over to the Adobe Master, and let me just show you guys these exercises. So this is the high bar stuff. We'll dive into the high bar stuff soon, but I'll show you guys kind of that new ring stuff that I was doing, because it's something that I'm going to continue to do for the rest of the week. So I'll show it to you once, so you don't have to look at it every single week, unless I digress. But oh shoot, all right, well, I'll show you guys a quick clip, because I was feeling a little spicy this week, and I was like, Andre, might spot me on a Zeri Maltese, and still wasn't technically right. I had a little too much pikey going on, but this is the new exercise that I'm adding. It's because I want to mimic the feeling of a back up rise Maltese, where you rise and you're locking into the position without falling down into it, but squeezing up into it. And so this is a great exercise for that Andre has composed for me. So we did 3 sets of going up, and then we did it twice. And so then we'll finish our ring strength with some cross pulls. My elbows are finally strong enough for this, guys. It is awesome. And you know, 5 pulls, 5-second hold. And so a lot of big gains in the strength. I put in a lot more in terms of that type of content this week. I was feeling really sore at the end of the week, which, you know, sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes it's necessary. But Joel, I'm glad you're tuning in. Thank you for the kind words. How you prepare your schedule? I posted a video uh, about my plans, my gym plans, and it should have everything in there for you drawn out. Just check some of the YouTube content that I got out there. I've got everything down there that you might want. So yeah, that was good strength. So now Wednesday we're hopping into floor, and this is where this is what yeah, never mind. I'm just gonna start showing you guys all the videos because floor is when things started getting real spicy. Uh-oh, little lag, guys, little lag. Let me minimize that. All right, so floor. I gotta show you the highlights. The highlights were okay. So I was very dedicated to getting my 2.5 double front. Oh, let me move myself. I'm in the way. I'm in the way. Here, let me shrink myself. There we go. All right, so I think I ended up taking about, shoot, how many turns was that on, um, see, I took about 13 turns, and 5 of them were the back 2.5s because I'm really trying to get that double front. And I think this is the one. There we go. I got my 2.5 double front. I finally got the confidence because on all the other ones, I was just turning over way too much on. Here, we'll slow this one down for you guys. I think this is one where I really turned over. So, you know, pretty good takeoff. And I want to be somewhat vertical, but look at how much lean I got going into this. This is a double front where I'm definitely gonna land on my butt if I go for it. And so I didn't want to practice that. I wanted to make sure I got enough numbers to confidently say, hey, I know I'm not gonna do do this type of trajectory for my double front. So I ended up taking a couple more turns than I think I normally would have liked. But you know, we've come a long way because I finally got the confidence, and here it is, 2.5 double front. Still wasn't perfect, but for the first one, I'll take it. Let's see where my position was upright. That's pretty good right there. And then sit up. I could have had my head up a little bit longer for a little more height, but you know, that'll get the job done. And so I got super juiced for this next turn too, because obviously my goals from last week was to do my first back triple full. And if you don't know, that's the skill that I tore my Achilles on. So anytime I get back into doing a back triple full on floor, I just have like this big moment of accomplishment of overcoming that fear. And so here it is, triple full, stoy. So I was pretty stoked to go that way with it. But you know, that was a solid way to go, solid way to start my floor week and really get the goals done early because you know obviously that's the goal. You want to get all your goals done. So moving on, I think the next thing that I had on this Word document list, let me transfer over all the goods. There we go. Next thing we had, because we did floor, we took a lot of turns, P-bars. Oh, P-bars is where the big focus was on peaches this week. And, you know, I still wanted to get my Bobstar done, Makuch drills, and double front half on hard surface. So we're going to check that out just this moment because it does get pretty exciting on P-bars. Figured it was time to make some bigger moves. And, yeah, we're going to pull this bad boy up. Oh, you heard the dogs? They're all barking in the backyard. I can't show them, unfortunately. No need to show you guys the floor routine. That's just a lot. That's a lot right there. So let's see. Here's where we start on the peaches. And so I've got this nifty little book. This is my notebook that I take during practice. So if there's any like things that I realize I need to be doing in my what I should be thinking while I'm taking turns in practice, I write them down so I can refer to them when I go back the next day. So on P-bars, I was making the revelations. Oops, sorry, I gotta go back a little bit. That I need to lean forward. A lot of the Japanese guys do it, so you'll see. I'll kind of walk you guys through it. So I don't know if I've made the revelation yet at this point. Okay, so now lean forward. This is good. And then the big thing that I noticed is I need to start looking this way at the bars. Always consciously looking here. And so I used to always think of like getting my chin to my chest. I did that for my entire life up until this moment. And this is what I'm starting to realize a lot of the Japanese guys do is they keep their head like kind of like back but neutral back, and that helps them really ride through the like their centripetal force a lot more. And so I'm still not quite as efficient at it as other guys are, but what you can notice is that I'm actually getting really, I need to hit this point when my hands are perfectly upright. So I've kind of missed it at this point, which is why I come out with a little bit of a knee bend and I'm lacking somewhat of the finish in the handstand. But those are the things that I need to think about. Is keeping my chin neutral and back, falling back, watching the rails, and also trying to open up not just through the bottom of the skill. Here, I'm going to show you guys the next one. Oh, I went a little too far. Sorry. Oh, no, maybe I don't do a next one. All right, oh, there we go. So here we are. We're going to run it one more time. Head up, lean, watch the ends, fold. Still missing it. I could be a little more like if my feet were flat right here, that would be perfect. That would be the Japanese way, so that I don't coming out diagonally. But those are the things I'm realizing, things I'm writing down, so I can take notes of this. Let me just tune in with you guys real quick. Appreciate you commenting on the work ethic. I'm taking this very seriously, that's for sure. I want to make sure that this is as good of a final year as I can possibly get, and having this type of reflection is helping make every single turn count. And see, that's, well, Connor, what you're talking about, because the goal for me is to have straight arms. And where this all comes from is just guiding my power and generating it in the right direction. And so this is why I started doing this style of peach, so that I can ride longer instead of throwing my head out and bending my arms. I already have my head out, so the only place if I'm going to throw my head one way is forward. But if you throw forward, if anything, that's going to help you plange it up a little bit more. Rather, if it's when your head comes from in to out and your chest comes out, that you bend your arms. And so I'm counteracting that by already having my head out. And if you watch Kanta, he's this guy on Instagram, great Japanese gymnast. He has his head like pretty much out the entire time, and he has the greatest peach I've ever seen. From when will you start set practice? Like you talk about routines, Amit, and how often do you play with trying new techniques? So right now is probably the time for me. For the next couple months, I'll try new techniques if I think it needs fixing. So that's why I'm really adamant about testing these theories, because I can't be doing this later. I can't be doing this once it's time to start competing. I have to have something to stick to and ride that out for the rest of the year. So now's my malleability to actually try things out. And so let's move me, because this is about to be my next big skill. We got the Bovsar back in the repertoire, which was awesome feeling. I had a good, comfortable. I didn't think I was, okay, we're going to get into this Makut soon. So there's my first attempt from whoever challenged me to do it without, or to start doing them onto the mat, and inching my way to no mat slide. If I had done this without a mat, I would have probably been crying in the shower as I was being burned by the hot water for like probably a couple weeks. Like that's how bad that turn was, and how bad it would have been so much worse had I not had the mat. So really what I learned is I'm not ready to do Makuts yet. I'm not comfortable enough with the fall down from that handstand, which is unfortunate, but you have to be honest with yourself when you're not ready for something. Don't push yourself past it. I still tried a couple, and with the mat slide I felt safe, but I think at that point it's like, all right, let's take it back to the basics, get more comfortable, and then we can come back and attempt it once my confidence is at an all-time high. And there it is. I think at that point I called it. And so we decided at that point, let's get the other goal that we had for the week, the double front half. I'm being very patient in that handstand. And I was very happy with this one. You know, I had a very good pop, good rise. I was patient, didn't duck my head. But the most important part, oh, sorry, guys. Woo, got a little too excited there. Was having some good throw. And you see how I'm sitting up and I'm pretty much parallel with my hands? That's when you know you've done it right. And so I was like, all right, yeah, this is half outable right there. So we got another one off the list. And yeah, you got to study everyone in the world. Appreciate you saying that, Sabrina. There's so many different ways to get skills done, and so many different people like really make the most of their turns. And like Japan and China, they are just so technical and so clean that it's hard not to revert to them when you don't know what to do or you're questioning something in your own gymnastics. So yeah, I appreciate you complimenting me on that one right there. And yeah, we're gonna throw it back. Let me check what's next on the agenda. I don't want to watch this horrible routine. It was bad, guys. I think at this point I was pretty gassed from all the extra turns on P bars and floor. So at that point, let me throw it here, and then let's see. So I talked about my peaches. I was very happy. Bobsar, good. Makooch drills did not go well. Got the double front half on hard. We're good. So yeah, we'll take it into vault now because that was the other point that I wanted to run into is kind of what I'm working on right there. And vault, I've had a lot of different perspectives going on, but let's get in here because I'm going to show you guys what I do really well when I do my very first turn, which is always a layout. Look at this. Look at where my feet are right now. Where I'm already punching through this board, and I'm kind of at a backwards angle. That is great trajectory if you're going in for a vault. Unfortunately, and look how fast my butt never really rises. It's always just quick heel drive. And this is the position I want to hit as I'm coming off the table. So love this. Everything about this part is incredible. So I want to translate that into, me putting my hands down because that's vaults essentially. So here's where I'm going to throw up a video of Xiao Rutung. And this man is also a legend. So it's YouTube, unfortunately. Look at this man trotting into it. That's a cause double. That's all I want. Just that right there. And we're going to just take this a little slowly because he is really good. So we don't have the angle to see how he's punching on the board. But, oh gosh, this is going to be horrible, isn't it? YouTube just does not. All right. Xiao, I see you. All right, look at those heels. That's the same exact trajectory as that layout that I have. So I'm following that path. He's on that exact path as a layout. Even though he's turning in the front of his body, he is still going along that trajectory. Now his head's out. He's watching his block hand. That is the most important part for me. And so he follows through, and obviously the rest of the video is super grainy. But they do this awesome slow-mo from the other side. Get ready for it. Look at this. This is pretty much a layout, right? I mean, here, maybe I can take it back just a notch. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Come on. Get there real clean. Come on. Oh, all right. See, this is all I really want to put out there. This is the position I want to be on the table when I'm doing these drills. He's looking down his hand, and then he throws his heels. He never pikes, and he just twists and flips and gets it all done. Not to mention, you can do that with a simple trot. Oh, you can slow down the playback speed on YouTube? Oh, shoot. Oh my God, you guys are hooking me up right now. Playback speed? What? Get out of here. You guys have just changed the game. All right, well, let's get ready. Sorry I didn't look at that soon enough. All right, we're going to, oh my gosh. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, guys. Look at this awesome trajectory. That is what I want. He's got a little bit of pike in his sit-up, but other than that, the big part, looking down the hand, driving the heels over. So do I do that? This is the question. And we're gonna I'm gonna play it once because I'm gonna tell you, no, I do not. Look at my butt coming up. That is the opposite of what Wu-Tang's doing. I'm trying to look down my hand, but you see how right here, all of a sudden, this right arm, my block arm, starts going out to my side. Also wrong. Shao does not do that. Here, we're gonna go back to Shao because I just gotta make sure that that translates. Get ready for this. All right, what does his arm do? Oh, Sam. All right, quick play. All right, so he blocks. Oh, and that thing just starts. That thing comes direct. He like pulls this in over his head. He doesn't do this. He goes whoosh and just sucks it right in. That is my biggest issue with my vaults, and it took a while for me to come to terms with that. But that's also why I'm twisting up here and not down here. Huge changes that I'm making. But we're making progress. We're making progress because now I know what I need to do in the future. And so I'm not going to show you guys the rest of these because more or less they're all the same. Um, I I'm trying to do more heel drive, but that hand still is coming out, and I'm looking the wrong way. I'm not looking down my block hand. And so all of these are exactly the same, but I will say as I go into the next week, I start focusing in on that a lot more. And then, all right, so then we're on Wednesday. We're finishing on vaults. We do our horse endurance. Still not ready. Wrist isn't feeling juicy enough to start throwing some more horse, but just keeping my endurance going, keeping the circle muscles going. But then, all right, so Friday, I was feeling spicy, like really spicy. And I'm giving you a little bit of knowledge in terms of like, all right, so floor, I was really dedicated on perfecting that back 2.5 and getting comfortable with that. So I took 7 turns of that. And so at that point, I was like, all right, that was way more than I should have for a routine day. Because I'm supposed to do 1-on-6 today. I'm not supposed to do skills. 17 turns on an event, that's a Wednesday type of thing. For comp day, you're never taking 17 turns before you go and do your routine. But I was feeling so in the zone and so technical that I was just going to ride it out. And that's kind of why the title is called Change of Plans, because I started realizing I need to make the most of this turn, of these turns right now when I feel super into my like technique. And so I was like, all right, we're going to skip this day on being a 1-on-6 day. We're going to break it up into 2 days. We're going to go 1-on-3, 1-on-3. So I took my time on floor. I got everything done. P-bars, I took, worked on my peaches. I still haven't gotten it down perfectly, but it's exactly the same stuff that we covered earlier. But now we get some time to dive into high bar. And this is the last event that I think I'm going to touch for the stream today. And it's because I feel very strongly that I've never done a casina, which is the G skill, a laid out full twist, or double flipping full twist in the laid out position over the bar with the regrasp. So I never really think I do that well. But I'm going to show you guys, like, I definitely do it well enough to be consistent, but I don't do it like Kohei. And that's the best way to put it, honestly. It's because Kohei's he's the king. So I decided to take a little revamp of my tap. And you're going to see good setup giant. All right, you see, hold on, I'm going to slow this one down a little bit more. Here's the new thought process. So normal giant, fine. I'm opening my chest a little earlier than I used to. And I'm really hitting full extension out and horizontal. Like, look at how far out I'm already opening. I don't normally do that. But this is where I'm coming into technique where I'm trying to be like Kohei. And so here's my problem as well. Why I don't think I have the greatest casino in the world. It's because look how far my chest is coming through the bar before my toes get over me. Like that's bad. That's way too far. And so even on that one, it was late. I missed it, but I was trying something new, so I'll take it past. But those are the things I'm thinking right now because my goal is to get as straight of legs as possible on that tap, and everything I've done in the past sets me up to bend my knees on the tap as compensation for not working directly with the bar. And so We got Andre on the mat. I'm really focusing on this technique now. I'm going to show you guys one more because one of these I think went really well. And it was better. That was actually a lot better because I'm going to, let's see, where did my, how much, okay, so I opened earlier and my chest did not come through the bar as much as it did on that previous turn, as you might have seen. But so that's what I'm working on. I'm trying to be more like Kohei. And you're watching with the kids during the practice. One of them just made his first peach on P-bars ever after listening to you on your tips. Oh, awesome! That's the type of that's instant results right there. I'm glad I was able to help. All right, but I'm going to take you guys for a quick journey down Kohei Lane. It's probably the greatest lane that you could possibly go down. Oh, hold on. And get ready. Oh, no! I am on the wrong one. Am I? Show me your high bar. Show me your high bar, King Kohei. I don't think this is where I wanted to be. I think this video played through where I wanted it. All right, we're gonna just start it here. All right, you guys, this is beautiful. Look at that squareness. Hold on, I'm gonna pull that slow-mo. Oh gosh, we're gonna play this one right now, actually. So this is the other one that I really like. This is a beautiful tight arch position at the top. Let me do that trick you guys taught me because this is so sick. All right, get ready for it. Catch it. Good for you, Kohei. You're always incredible. So you see how he's opening early too in that horizontal? That's where I got this information from. And look at that beautiful tap. All right, we're gonna stop. He was arched, right? He hit here. He's pushing through, and when he is perfectly vertical, his body is completely straight because he's transitioning from an arch to a hollow. But that is such a crucial checkpoint. And then the most important thing that I never have done in my life, he pikes. Not only does he pike, but his shoulders pull with it as he pikes. And that is the thing that I'm trying to replicate as I'm readjusting my Casina tap. So he's there, he opens, and unfortunately we don't have good angle here, but like his chest hardly comes through the bar. And I mean, it's tough to see, I know, and which is kind of the unfortunate angle part, but it is so freaking beautiful. Here, I'm gonna see. So at this point, you can see he's slowing down. His chest has never gone anywhere past this angle right here. Like his feet start coming over his head at this point. Okay, maybe it was a little, okay, I was wrong. It was a little bit further. But compared to me, and let me pull myself up real quick. Let's get ready. Where do I start letting my feet come over my head through this tap? We're going to slow it down. So he opens up way earlier than I do. And I think that's because he pikes and it allows him to check where he wants to open, where I'm just squeezing my butt and kind of letting gravity pull me. But so here, you know what? It really isn't that much more. Let's glance this real quick. Oh, where you at, Kohei? Oh, you can't see it, can you? There we go. I don't know. I still think he does it better. I just don't think this angle really gets it. But his head stays in way better than I do. My gosh, just look at this. And his head gets so close to the bar. The one thing you guys don't really understand is that your head's actually always really close to the bar when you catch this. But I don't know. If you watch this in fast motion, let's see. Would you guys actually be freaked out? Oh, God. I got to change this setting real quick. Normal. All right. Show us. All right. Does this scare you guys? No, that looked super normal, right? But yeah, it's just terrifying because your face is literally always going to be like within 6 inches of the bar. But so those are the things that I'm starting to think of when I'm doing my when I'm starting to do my kovacs work. And it's taken a little while for me to get comfortable with it. And maybe my last turns I might have it the best. But no, that was a sweet talk though. I had no complaints on my talks. I don't need to change no technique there. Stick City. All right, so yeah, that's everything that my goals that I was writing down in my little notebook were. I was just trying to reinvent the problems that I think I've always had. And breaking habits are so hard. That's the craziest thing. Luckily, I'm out of practice of my bad habits, so now is the time to be as proficient as possible in tuning up my thought process on what needs to happen to make this perfect. Because I think I've always gotten away with doing them with a couple tenths of deduction. Now I'm trying to get away with, increasing my e-score significantly through these little tips and tricks that and studying from other countries. So we're getting there. We're getting there. And how did he not hit his face right? It gets so close. It's terrifying. And yeah, I know. Actually, so when I was showing my coach, no, I'm glad you said that. His knees bend at the bottom, similar to mine. And that's like what my coach said. And I was like, all right, well, I don't want to be like, obviously I want to be like Kohei, but, he makes mistakes still. He's not perfect. How can I try to be better than Kohei? Like, if I can keep my knees straight on my kovacs taps, that means I'm better than Kohei. And so that's the goal. I'm not just trying to copy, I'm trying to do something better than the video that I'm watching. And if I can get that, damn, that's going to be a great looking casino. Straight legs with that height that Kohei gets, man, I will be excited to watch that. So those are the goals. Those are the goals that